Stop talking and listen. You will write out, not say anything, on a piece of paper. I acknowledge that if I'm being taught something by someone who knows better than I do, that I don't have an opinion, I don't have a right to express an opinion, and I don't have a right to question what I'm being told. Now, at this point, all of the people who are inherently contrarian are typing angrily. You can't tell me to do that. Oppositional defiant disorder, hundreds of other mimetic statements and thought-terminating cliches we use for this tendency people have. That, I'm not saying it was better in the past, but in order to get shit done in our mass-produced assembly line education system, people who would defiantly get in the way of doing basic stuff like, let's filter everybody who learns quick into the round peg in a square hole kind of thing over here, who can learn by doing this. That was the majority of them. And if it wasn't the majority, it was intended to create robots that would work well on an assembly line. Yes. But the exact opposite of it, not a compensation or a compromise or just a human-based way of doing things, the polar opposite becomes dominant in some environments. Where if I explain to you that if you do a perfect 45-degree angle as best you can, and then test it the way I tell you, you can make it to where you can make an object that you carry around or learn how to do, or a method by stacking fists, where you can figure out that if you can get an exact 45-degree angle from here to the top of something down to where you are, then you can pace off the distance and find out how tall it is, as long as you can get to its center. That took a couple of seconds to explain. And a huge number of people aren't going to get it. But some will. And for the people who can get it fast, because they shut up and listen and try to learn and put extra effort in it, no, I don't care that you have a learning disability. Let the people without it learn it first. No, we don't all need to have the equal outcome because some of us are not as capable as others. Yes, I said it. I'm nearsighted. I have to sit at the front of the class. I didn't earn that. I simply can't see the goddamn chalkboard. So what did they do? They put me in the back of the class until I got glasses. And then they kept doing it because they wanted to teach me a lesson on humility or something. And now we have the internet and everybody is nearsighted because we're all maybe 2 feet away from our screens. Or some of you, a lot closer. Why are you... Okay, we're at the 3-minute mark. Both sides. I'm not doing it with a Trump voice. Liberals and conservatives have been taught that if anything has any level of discomfort to it, that it's wrong. That it's mean, that it's done to dominate them. And you know what? That is actually factually true in a lot of cases, but not all of them. And that means the hard pathway sometimes is the only one you can do to get shit done. Doesn't matter if you like it. If you're out and about in an environment where it's survival, and you don't have a choice, you're going to have to compromise your feelings and beliefs and principles to survive. It doesn't matter if you like it. Because the world doesn't give a shit what you like or don't like or your feelings. You're going to die from starvation if you don't. Well, in my case, this would hurt me a lot. If I could grab a squirrel and kill it and eat it, even though I love them, I would be compelled to do it to survive. However, if it was a dog, I'd do that instead. Wolf, coyote, whatever. Yeah, these are my friends and pets. But I am a obligate omnivore. In my case, genetically, I'm an obligate, almost carnivore. I don't have a choice. I can't digest the same things you can. But Wabtec, you're a soy boy. No. I'm talking about I would be compelled by my defects to be more of an animal than most of you wannabes ever claim to be. I've been hungry enough that I've been a predator to animals in the forest. By principle, I like hunting at McDonald's. Some of you don't like the idea of doing that. But then if worse comes to worse, you would be hunting cattle because they're slower and you can. We don't like it when we go outside of our comfort zone. I will never be happy going outside my comfort zone, but I've had to. Well, that's not blah, blah, blah. I don't care what you have to say. Shut up and listen. Because people have manipulated whatever you're, quote, triggered by, or in the case of conservatives and liberals, no, it's just conservatives at this point I'm going to talk about. Let's get to it. You all got triggered and you won't admit it. You're in the closet about your sensitivities and your biases and your pre-programming. You've been primed. That's the proper term, some people would say. You've been conditioned as a person to do certain things, and people find out about it because they just do, door-to-door studies or surveys that some of us stupidly did decades ago to be able to get to that website. Short survey before you do XYZ. Anybody remember that shit? Well, guess what it's being used for? It's a weapon. It manipulates you. You're all able to be manipulated. If you want to harden yourself against it, you can't have any sensitivities. You can have them, but you can't talk about them anymore. But yeah, I want to warn people about, trigger warning on your Tumblr account. Did that actually work the way you were told it would do? Or were you trolling to get people to do hate comments so you can play the victim? Those are stereotypes you hear a bunch of conservatives say. But did you? And again, like another video I did today, don't answer me. People only have the ability to lie when they say something, so someone else can hear it. But if you're alone in a room and you keep repeating to yourself over and over again, I'm not like that, you probably are. About whatever it is you don't want to believe about yourself. This is the hard part of existence. I'm a craven coward. I will run from a fight. But if I'm cornered, everyone's gonna be fucking hurt. We're all getting backed into a corner, and you're going to find out how much of a monster you are. No, you conservatives that claim to be badasses and imagine yourself in slow motion to some Guns N' Roses song. No, you're not badasses. You're going to find out you're a bigger coward than me and a bigger monster than me, but under different conditions. Because you don't know, because nothing's ever happened to you. Admit it. No, you're not badasses because you were police officers or in the military. Because we've seen Meal Team 6 enough times that we know virtually all of you are lying. Even some of you who are ex-military are still lying. Because you curled up in a corner while bombs were coming at you, and you got lucky by throwing your grenade and killed the right person instead of just a random person, and you got your confidence while you were literally shitting your pants. That is the most honest response I got out of somebody. One guy I know, if you're watching, I love you, man. He took out an entire building full of technological equipment, as he was told to do. But then the people decided to defend the building, thinking it was being shot at. And he sat there with the clicker, with the wall behind him. He knew had enough explosives to take out multiple buildings. Lit up a cigarette, and they had him on a thermal cam clicking the fucking thing, and the building collapsed. A very uncontrolled demolitions expert. They removed him from the military because they said, you didn't care anymore, and you didn't show thermal changes. That's not what we want in a demolitions expert. No, it's not that you're brave to the point of recklessness. We want you scared, chicken shit scared. And knowing exactly what you're doing. Being absolutely terrified out of your mind is normal. Pretending to be a badass is the easiest way to get killed. All of these affirmations are even repeated by some of these Meal Team 6 types. You can look at a now famous image of one of the, they're not Gestapo, they're not Nazis. These are neo-Confederates working in ICE. One of them being literally scolded like this by somebody. And they're crying their fucking eyes out because they've had their first experience dealing with an angry liberal. Say anything you want to about liberals and conservatives, but when people are truly fucking pissed, we are scary motherfucking monsters. We are the devil. There is no animal on this planet that's more terrifying than an angry human, except maybe an angry mother or father. The only thing worse is a grieving one. Now do you want to talk back? Now are you compelled to oppositional defiant disorder or contrarian your way out of an argument where you know you're going to lose, but you know if you yap enough, you'll win? I spent years criticizing liberals for weakening themselves, not because they were weak in that way, but they were taking away their strength and everything they had fought for by making it to where no one should have to go through what I did. Good. And I'm going to punish people vindictively for seeming to be my opponent. Your position is destroyed because you turned into what you hate. And all you conservatives out there screaming, Obama's going to do this any day now, and it never happened. Or saying, well, he's going to do this other thing, and it didn't happen. Or saying outright, he did these things, but it's been hidden, which, of course, was a lie. And all the things you claimed that were absolutely terrible, including the FEMA trains, FEMA camps, and guillotines, and threats, are coming true, but it's coming from your side of the spectrum. And we're all getting probed. I made a video about a House bill in Washington. This is going to be kind of a corollary to it. This is going to get to the point. Every one of us is easily manipulated into doing shit that's not in our best interest because we think it's going to vindictively fuck over someone else. If you're a liberal and you went through the meme wars and you're a tumblerette, and all the other jokes that all the liberals, including myself, made fun of about other liberals, your fault as well. A smaller portion, yes, much smaller. But it's your fault. Making it about, I'm going to piss on people and get power. Anita Sarkeesian is partially responsible for this. How did you, I'm not going to explain it. Go watch every criticism of Anita Sarkeesian. Look up all the people who decided to fight fire with fire by becoming their opponent. Look at all that shit that happened. And all the people who are older than you that went through it. And see how it pushed people, quite literally, to become the monsters that we now have to deal with. A societal contract involves being social, not antisocial. And some of you fucking are learning this. All of us are guilty of the fuck around and find out thing. And I'm not any better. There's a bunch of shit that I have as my pet peeves or my pet theories that I believed in, and I shot myself in the fucking dick as well. Okay? Own it! Okay, how do we fix this? We can't fix it by both sides. We can't fix it by listen and believe. We can't fix it by any other aphorism you can stick on a fucking bumper sticker. This has nothing to do with the 3D printer video that I just made. That's not about the 3D printers. It's about something else. You all need to do what you are going to have to come to a conclusion about. You have to stop doing a group of things that did not work and never worked. That means that you have to stop listening to people that you know lied to you, that grifted, that manipulated you. That means you're going to have to stop using sources that do it as well. Wikipedia isn't guilty of shit. Fucking just get over it. NPR and PBS are guilty of trying to influence people. And yes, they had their heart in the right place and their mind. But were they trying to do something bad? No. Should you listen to everything you learned? Maybe. But you need to reevaluate it now based on the intent of the person doing it and whether that matters after the fact. Sometimes people were trying to do something evil, but they accomplished good by accident, much to their own anger. Good. But sometimes people are trying to do something good and fucked things up. And some of you out there were led astray by false profiteers who lied to you, and you won't own it. You can't fix this unless you admit it is broken, and you partially broke it, and figure out who fucking made you do it. The manipulation stops when you stop apologizing for the manipulators. I'm going to be uploading each of the two videos on two different channels, but they're on the same fucking subject. No one's going to do it for you. Do it. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Good luck with that. Really.